Hey, Holy Hoopa. So it's been, I'm trying to move this so you guys can see me a little bit there. Sorry. It's been a little while since I made a video. I don't know, a couple weeks or something like that. It's been busy and crazy, and my son was sick once again. Seems to be, I don't know if it's the pollen and spring and whatnot, and one day it's sunny and warm, the next day it's cold, the next day it's raining, so it's always changing here in Sweden. But anywho, I wanted to talk a little bit about, if you guys haven't heard or you're not sure, here in Sweden we have Systembolaget, which is a government run store for alcohol, liquor, beer, wine, anything over 3.5%. If you go to the grocery store here in Sweden, or I think it's pretty much just grocery store, like Ica Maxi, Willys, Hemköp. Those are just some of the grocery stores we have here in Sweden. Lidl. You can buy alcohol-free wine, and you can buy beer up to 3.5%. Anything over that, you have to go to the government store, which is Systembolaget. And they're open Monday through Saturday. I want to say from like 8 a.m. until like 6 p.m. Maybe a little earlier on Saturday they close. They're closed on Sunday. And there's usually like one like in the town square type of thing. They're often pretty busy because there's just one. But there you can buy beer, wine, liquor, what is it? Fruity drinks, alcopop, like ciders and things like that, over 3.5%. And comparing it to like the United States, it was like when I first got here to Sweden, it was completely different. The whole drinking culture is completely different here in Sweden compared to like the United States. I'm just going to keep the comparison to the United States because that's where I've drank here and there. In America, it's common to come home from work and have a beer or a glass of wine or two with dinner almost every night. It's like a casual thing. Here in Sweden, it's completely different. They don't do that. They drink on the weekends. They're more like, I don't want to say binge, but kind of like a binge drinking culture rather than in the United States, where like a casual everyday drinking culture. And so that was a little different because in the United States, I remember coming home from work and having a glass of wine, all the time, and not all the time, a lot of the times. And if I needed a bottle of wine and it was after 6 p.m., or if I wanted a bottle of wine or if I wanted a beer, I could just go down to the corner store or go down to the grocery store or the liquor store and buy one up to like 10 o'clock at night. Here in Sweden, you can't do that. And if you want to have a nice Sunday dinner and you forgot to buy a bottle of wine, then you're out of luck because you can't go and just go and buy one. Where in America, I can just say, hey guys, I'm going to run out and grab a bottle of wine or something for dinner tonight on Sunday. Unless you pre-do it during the week and go to the government store here in Sweden, you don't have that opportunity. So that was a little different for me. And the not drinking every day casually after a hard day at work, that was a little bit different for me too. They tend to drink more on the weekends and a lot rather than one or two every day after work like we do there. And so that was like a little bit of a cultural difference, the way that they drink. And the cost. If you come to Sweden and you want to experience the pub, or you want to go to a bar and you want to order a drink, it's expensive. It's really expensive. So a lot of people, they just like, it's big here is they call it pre-partying, or they will buy alcohol from Systembolaget, drink at home or drink at a friend's house, get a nice buzz, and then go out and maybe have like one or two beers or drinks in the club or in the pub because it's so expensive. one beer is going to cost you $10 or $12 USD at the pub, where in the United States, it's like half that. So it's pretty expensive to go out and drink here. So that was another thing that was different. In America, we used to go to like the pub all the time, or the bar or whatever, and just have drinks and whatever. And it was, you could get out of there, and it wasn't expensive. You go every weekend if you wanted to. We lived by a brewery, and we used to go on the weekends, have a couple drinks, have some food, and it wasn't really expensive. That is something that you can't really do here unless you plan on spending all of your money, because it's so expensive. So that was kind of like a cultural type of difference for me as well. They do a lot more partying at home and drinking at home than they do going out, where in America we kind of do both. We go out a lot too, just because we're social, and it's not very expensive. You can go, and they have like a lot of 2-for-1 specials and stuff like that. I remember in the United States there's a restaurant that we have called, well, there's two, but I'll stay with one, Chili's, for example. It's a restaurant that serves like, I don't know, it's just like fajitas and things like that. Tacos, fajitas, and things. But they do like a lot of 2-for-1 specials, where if you buy one margarita, you get 2 margaritas. And it's full alcohol. And, or if you buy maybe 1 glass of wine, they give you 2 glasses of wine. It's 2-for-1 specials. They do like a lot of deals, or they'll do like happy hours and things like that. Where here in Sweden, I haven't seen any like 2-for-1 specials or anything like that. They don't do that here. You buy each individual drink, and it can be costly. I remember I went out to, here we have in Sweden, it's called Bishop's. It's like a pub where they have really great food, really great drinks. It's a nice atmosphere. It's a really nice place if you get a chance and you come to Sweden. Bishop's was really cool. We went out for my birthday one year, and I was drinking Cosmopolitans, and they were like $12 for one Cosmopolitan, and I thought that was really expensive. So of course I only had like 2. But they were excellent. They tasted really great, but I thought that was kind of expensive when it's, $24, and I've had 2, where in America I could have spent $12 and maybe gotten 2 drinks. So it's a big difference that way. The drinking culture is different, and the price you pay for alcohol, because there's a high alcohol tax here in Sweden, is different. So in America, you can go to the grocery store or the liquor store, and you can buy a 12-pack of beer, for example. And maybe, depending on the brand of the beer, we'll go with Budweiser, because that's pretty well known everywhere. If I go into the grocery store and I want to buy a 12-pack, which is 12 cans or 12 bottles of Budweiser, maybe I'm going to spend 120 to 150 crowns for that 12-pack, and then I leave. Here in Sweden, you can't buy a 12-pack. You have to buy each beer or each cider individually. In the grocery stores, you can get like a 6-pack of 3.5s, but if you go to Systembolaget and you want a 12-pack, you have to pay for each individual can separately. And it ranges in price, of course, depending on the brand of the beer, where it comes from, the alcohol content, and so forth. You could spend maybe $1.50 USD for one beer to, $3, $4, $5 for one beer. And if you want 12, then you're going to pay that times 12. So that's a little bit different as well. And I know here in America, which is something that they, I'm sure, think is crazy here in Sweden, you can, a lot of times the grocery stores will do specials on 12 packs as well, where you could, or 6 packs, you could go in and they do buy one, get one free. So you buy one 6-pack for, say, 70 crowns, and you get one free. So that's like a deal, too, that they run in the United States. That I will never probably see here. Buy one, get one free, anything, when it comes to alcohol. They also do like, just like, sometimes they'll do like coupons, like $3, like 30 crowns off a bottle or something like that, or run deals and discounts. They also, in America, they sell airplane bottles, what we call them. They're little tiny bottles of spirit, little tiny bottles of liquor. You can get like whatever, tequila, vodka, whiskey, anything. And they're little tiny airplane bottles. They're like this big. And they're really cute. Um, they're fun if you just want to like taste something, but you don't want to commit to buying a whole bottle because you're not sure if you're going to like it. So it's nice when you can just buy a small bottle, make one drink, and be like, okay, yeah, I think I could commit to buying a whole bottle now, rather than buying that little one and saying, no, I do not like it. It was gross. Because if you buy a whole bottle and you don't like it and it's gross, and you're stuck with this whole bottle. So I think the airplane bottles are kind of cool. And they also make fun gifts too. But anywho, so here in Sweden they don't do like the little airplane bottles either. There's no advertisement here for alcohol. There's where in America it's everywhere. There's no like when you go to Systembolaget, which is the government-run store here in Sweden for alcohol. It's very plain. They do have a lot of workers, and the workers are very, very knowledgeable in the alcohol and the types of, like say you tell them, I'm having a dinner party this weekend and we're having lamb and potatoes and blah 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 whatever, and I'm looking for a good wine to go with that. They're really knowledgeable in that as well. They can help you with that. So that's pretty cool, because I know if I go into America and I ask them any kind of question, they won't know anything. I've asked them. Last time I was in the United States, I went to the liquor store because I wanted to buy a port for my mom. And I asked them, like, where are your ports? And they didn't even know. So I was like, okay, I will go look myself. They couldn't tell me where they were or anything. Where in Sweden, if you ask, hey, do you have this? If they don't know where it is on the shelf, they'll go directly to the computer, they'll look it up, and then they can go to which aisle it's in. And if they don't have it, they can look at other stores. You can have it shipped to that store, so that's pretty cool. They're really knowledgeable in that aspect. The other thing that I think is kind of really cool about Systembolaget that I haven't seen in the United States, because like the pros and cons, in Sweden they have, and I think it works really well for COVID times right now, they have OnView and they have home delivery. So if you can go on their website, Systembolaget's website, or they have an app too. And you can, if you're going to use OnView, which is what I use, you go on and you pick your OnView site. So you pick your closest grocery store that has OnView in your area, and you choose that grocery store. And then you go and you look at what alcohols, beers, wines, liquors, whatever you want, can be shipped to that store in a certain amount of days. Of course, you can have anything shipped from all over Sweden. It just might take a little longer. But if you're having a dinner party this weekend and you don't want anything too special, you just want to have some nice drinks, then it's maybe only takes 2 days compared to a week and a half. So you go on, you pick, say, like for example, I'll tell you what I did. Last night I went on and I ordered 2 bottles of wine, one from Argentina and one from Portugal. That's where they come, but they're in the store here locally. If you order on a Tuesday, it's shipped on Thursday. So I ordered it yesterday, and on Thursday I can pick it up from the closest grocery store to my house, and that's free. So I don't have to take the train into town, I don't have to take the bus, I don't have to walk in the rain. I can just order it online, have it delivered to the grocery store for free, and then I just go down to the grocery store, tell them I have an OnView, and I pay for it at the grocery store, and I leave. So I think that's really, really cool and really convenient if you don't drive, or if you don't want to go into town, if you don't want to walk in the rain and the snow and blah, blah, blah. Maybe, during COVID, you don't want to go into these stores because there's a lot of people. You can just go into your one local grocery store. So I think that's really, really cool. They have another thing where they do home delivery. But for that, you have to buy over a certain amount. For example, you have to buy, I think, 12 bottles of wine um, at a time, like a certain amount you have to buy. And then it's $12 USD, 120 crowns, and they will deliver to your house. So that's really cool too, I think, during COVID times, because if you're older and you're in the risk group and you don't want to go to these stores because you're afraid of getting COVID, you can have everything delivered to your house and then just have like a stock at home, so you don't have to, worry about when you're going to be able to get out of the house again. I think it's especially good around this COVID time. I don't know in the United States, because I haven't been there, I haven't lived there in a while, if they do home delivery or if they have like the OnView, which is the deliver to the grocery store or the closest. It's usually a grocery store. So I'm not sure if they do that nowadays. But I think that's really, really cool. And it wasn't too expensive for the bottles of wine. They're a little bit more expensive than the United States because of the high alcohol tax, of course. But it's not like that much more expensive. I bought 2 bottles of wine, and I want to say I paid under $20. So that's pretty good. I paid like 178 crowns for 2 bottles of wine. And I thought that was a really good deal. In the United States, of course, the bottles of wine, just like here, range from really cheap to really expensive. But you can get bottles of wine in the United States for 30 crowns, and they taste fine. But the big difference, like what I'm saying, is in the United States, you can buy alcohol Monday through Sunday from 8 a.m. till 10 or 11 p.m. Unless it's a dry county, then you're not buying anything. You got to go to another county. But that's a totally different story. But usually, at least where I come from, in Florida, you can go Monday through Friday, 8 to 12, and go to the grocery store. You can go to the liquor store. You can go to the corner store. You can go to the gas station. And you can buy just about anything you want. Where here in Sweden, if you forget to buy what you want on Saturday, you don't have anything on Sunday. You just have to wait till Monday. If there's a holiday, they're closed, so you better get all that done beforehand. I remember during COVID times, well, it's still COVID times, but during like the big holidays, Christmas and New Year's Eve, my husband said he waited in line outside of Systembolaget, and the line was like wrapped around the building because they were only letting so many people in at a time due to the high cases of COVID. And so I think it was raining too, and it was cold, so you have to prepare for that as well, because they don't do masks here in Sweden. It's not a mandatory thing like it was in the United States. So some people wear them, but not everybody. But yeah, so everybody was trying to get in before the big holiday and buy all the alcohol they wanted so they wouldn't run out during the holiday. Where in the United States, even the grocery stores and usually the liquor stores and the gas stations are all open on the holidays, so you can at least go in. Even if they close early, you can go in before they close and buy whatever alcohol you want. So that's a little bit different as well here. That you have to kind of like really prepare, make a list, and know, like, this is what I'm going to have for my party, or this is what I'm going to need for the holiday. Is it going to get me through the holiday or whatever, before you go and you get everything then. Because you're not going to be able to pick it up once the holiday starts. So that was a little bit different as well, especially if you run out. There's this really funny show that they play every year during Christmas time. It's Svensson. And the wife, I think, was supposed to get the bottle of, I think it was aquavit or something, and she didn't get it, and the husband didn't get it, so they didn't have any alcohol for Christmas, and he was like panicking. And it's not like you can run out and go get it, so it's a really funny show. I'm sure every Swedish person has seen it. But It's just really funny because he's like freaking out because nobody got it and he couldn't find it. It wasn't in the house. It was like a miscommunication who was supposed to buy it. So, yeah, so that's a little bit of a rundown of how like Systembolaget works here in Sweden, compared to going to the anywhere in America and picking up alcohol. Um, it's like I said, it's much more expensive to go out and drink here than it is in the United States. Um, a lot of more people just do kind of like home parties rather than going out. Where in the United States, they do home parties, but a lot of people go out. I remember when I was younger, we used to go to the bar every single weekend, and like the country bar, and we would dance and we would drink and we, it was like a cowboy bar. You could, it was like every weekend we used to go out, and it was like cheap as hell. I remember one time there was this one place we used to go to, this cowboy bar. It was 120 crowns, $12, give or take. You get a wristband, and it's called Sink or Swim. So with that wristband, you go up to the pub or go up to the bar all night long, show them your wristband, and they give you a drink because you bought the wristband. So and you either sink or swim, and you could drink all night long with that wristband, and you just paid for that wristband. So that's really cool. I don't think they'd ever do anything like that here in Sweden. But I remember we used to do that every weekend because it was like so cheap. It was sometimes there was a really long line because everybody had a wristband, but it was fun, and it was just a good time. And then you could always go to another bar afterward and have more drinks. And it wasn't really expensive, compared to here in Sweden. I know, like, when I go back, like when I was in the United States during Christmas, I was, here in Sweden, I don't really drink very often, because of the expense and my disease and stuff like that. But I know, like, when I was on vacation in the United States, I had a glass of wine, like, every night, like, because it was a casual thing, what we do in the United States. You could have a, sit by the TV or hang out and chat and have a glass of wine or two. You run out, you go get another bottle. You go up to the store and get another bottle. It's not like it's that big of a deal. We're here in Sweden. You really can't do that if it's like 8 o'clock at night and you run out of alcohol. Oh, well, tomorrow, you're out of luck. Where I can just go down to the store in the United States and grab 2 more bottles or another 12-pack or whatever and continue the party. So you really got to prepare here in Sweden and maybe like limit yourself during during the whole party so that that, like, I don't want to run out. God forbid I run out and then I don't have anything and it's like, whatever, I can't go get more. So you kind of really have to, like, prepare. And in America, we've never experienced that. We've always just like, oh, we run out, somebody go get more. Who's gonna do the beer run? So it's funny. But anyways, I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope you liked my video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Let me know what you think of the 2 different systems too, between Sweden and what I've explained in the United States, or if you've ever been to the United States, or what it's like in your country. That would be cool to know too, how it works there. But yeah, thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful week, like I said, and I will talk to you all again soon. Hej då allihopa!